CLU2 can manage all of the firmware updates of your NETRON devices. So let's take a look. So I'm going to go to the Firmware tab of CLU2, and in here I'm going to see all of my network-based NETRON devices. So we're not going to see third-party devices, and we're not going to see NETRON RDM devices. We're just going to see network NETRON devices. And in here, what we'll see is the current versions of firmware, and we'll see if there are any updates available, because what we'll see is the latest version for that product shown in brackets. So I can see here that I've got my EN12 and my EN4 that do require some updates. They are on older versions. Notice I'm also actually seeing my RDM10, but that's greyed out. The reason for that is that device is on a 2.IP scheme, which is different to my PC's 192.168. So if you do have devices on a different subnet, you'll be able to see them, but you won't be able to perform the firmware update. So you'll notice here there is actually a handy shortcut to jump you to the device's network settings so that you can correct those settings in order to perform the updates. So how does CLU know that these versions here in brackets are the latest? Well, when you download CLU2 from our website, it will come bundled with all the latest firmware files for all NETRON devices. So if you download CLU, you know on your PC, you've then got all the firmware updates you need. So you don't need to worry about having a network, or you don't need to worry about having an internet connection when you go to the venue. So I'm going to, first things first, update my EN4 here. Now, you'll notice there is actually a firmware and a web version. That's because NETRON devices actually require two firmware files, one for their firmware and one to provide the web interface that you see in a browser. And so you might find that, in this case here, the firmware is updated, but that web interface version is still trailing behind incorrectly. So I'm going to go and perform the web update. I'm then going to get a pop-up saying, "Are you sure?" And I will start that. And the firmware update is now going to begin. If I wanted to, I could have, you'll see it's just greyed out now, but I could have hit that update all button at the top right if I wanted, and that will have pushed the update to all devices at once. A word of note though, whilst that update is progressing, if your NETRON device is currently on a version 2 firmware, and you wish to update it to 3, it will be factory reset in the process, because the update from 2 to 3 is a major update. If you're already on 3 and you're just updating to a newer version of 3, then that's fine. There won't be the device won't be factory reset. But if you are going from 2 to 3, that is a major update. So as you can see, the device is updating at the moment. We can see the upload progress going through there as the update is pushed to the device. And in a moment, that device will have completed the update, and when it comes back online, CLU2 will then know that the firmware is updated. So there we go. We can see the update has finished. Device has gone offline briefly, and we should see it come back with the updated version. Now let's take a look at the EN12. The EN12 is going to be a little bit different. Now that's because it's going to be factory reset. As I mentioned, it's currently on a 2 dot, updating to a 3 dot, so it will be factory reset. That's really important, because I'm going to get that update running now and confirm and say, yep, I know that it will obviously be reset in the process. What you might find is that CLU may say that the update has failed. The reason for that is just purely because if you're going from 2 to 3, the NETRON device will be factory reset in the process. But don't worry. The reason for that is because the NETRON device's IP address will have gone back to the default of a 2 dot address. And obviously that's therefore CLU2 has lost connection to it. But don't worry, you should have found that the update did partly succeed. What we'll find in a moment is we should see that CLU2 will find that it has indeed reverted to a 2 dot address. There we go. So there we can see that it has indeed reverted to the default 2 dot address. So all I need to do is go and set it to DHCP. So DHCP there, reapply that, apply. That will reconfigure the IP address of the EN12 to then bring it back to a valid IP scheme. And in a moment, we then should see that the firmware has updated. As I mentioned, you'll only need to do this extra procedure if you're going from version 2 to version 3. So there we go. We can see there, yep, indeed, we are now on a version 3 for the firmware. That's updated fine, but the web interface still needs doing. So I'm just going to go and hit the web update button one more time to start that, and that's then going to go through and update that second part. So that's just a little bit of an extra process that you're going to need to do if you're doing that major update from 2 to 3, because the fact the IP address will change mid-update due to the factory reset. That's all it is. That's all it is. It's nothing to worry about. You might just need to push that update twice if you're doing the major update. If we do a firmware update for a device, for a NETRON device, do keep an eye on our socials for that. We will post on socials usually if we're doing firmware updates. And of course, a good place to keep up to date is our Discord and our forum. And then you know that if we have released a firmware update for the NETRON device, all you need to do is download the latest version of CLU2 from our website, and that will come bundled with the latest firmware for your device. So you can just then download CLU. You don't need to worry about downloading any individual firmware files. Just download the installer and you can then push the update from CLU nice and easily. And CLU2 will automatically send the correct file for the discovered device. So there we go. That device is updated. We'll see that version number flip once we get confirmation from our device. We'll see the version number update. Word of note as well, we do have the recovery button. You should only ever need to use that if directed by Obsidian support. That can also be used though if you do need to roll back a firmware version. Quite unusual you'd need to do that, but it is possible using the recovery button if needed. So that is the firmware update process using CLU2.